Hi, I'm Alex Clark. I'm a divisive rat who wants every other person that has a different opinion than me to burn. So what did I do to get all this hate?
Catholic bashers, not cool. I hope you burn in hell.
Recently, I had a guest on my podcast, The Spillover, who is sharing his story about being the nephew of one of the most famous or infamous televangelist prosperity gospel preachers in the world. My guest's name is Costi Hinn, and the premise of the episode was for him to share not only his personal story, but share his views on false teachers within the church. I'd first like to show you every instance where I said groups who disagree with Costi are condemned to hell. And here is where I shared all my viewpoints on the subject. My job as a host is to get guests that are great for the channel and that I want to interview. I pour hours into picking guests that will be entertaining, educational, and thought-provoking. Even if I think a large part of my audience will disagree, I consider how that will drive engagement. Duh! Engagement matters. If every interview I do is a blip on the radar and no one watches or comments, will I still have a job? No! Are the 1-minute reels clickbaity and going to contain the spiciest moments to get people to watch? Duh! Have you ever started a podcast, try it out, and use the most mundane moments in your reels and see how many people want to watch or share your show? If you got upset because the reel was spicier than the actual interview, touch grass. And don't think I don't know exactly how my content will resonate with you. I have had interviews in the past I knew would upset some of you. I have interviews coming up that I know will upset some of you. There are also interviews I know that some of you will love. So tell me, which side of my audience am I supposed to tailor all of my interviews to? The answer is none. Forget the Catholicism or the daycare stuff or the gentle parenting, somebody deciding to forego chemotherapy for a plant-based diet, etc. I mean, these are all super controversial topics that I've had on my podcast this year. What I want you to take away from all of the drama that surrounds some of these episodes is that the right and the left are made up of people who are unbelievably soft and incapable of civil discourse. What we can't stand from the left is the exclusion of controversial people, brands, campaigns that are all contrary to the groupthink. And that is exactly what conservatives are guilty of. If you are one of those people who are upset by the real, 1, you need to watch the full-length Spillover episode, and 2, ask yourself why you're getting so upset. Nobody, including me, should ever get that emotionally charged over someone providing their own view and opinion. We have to be more mature than to state that you are pre-offended and never even give the person who's doing the said offending the opportunity to explain their actual view by listening to the entirety of a conversation. I respect the heck out of my Catholic followers that listened and said, hey, I gave it a chance, I did, I listened to the whole thing, but I still disagree with what he said. I get it. I respect that. I can't respect any viewer who admits that they're upset without ever listening to the conversation. We should be better than this and be able to have civil discourse, whether it's left versus right or any theological viewpoint or which hamburger joint is best, which obviously is Five Guys. Mentally prepare yourself for SSRIs being nothing more than placebos or somebody saying that women's suffrage is a mistake. Get all that offendedness out now because the spillover is about to get way heavier. Would I do this episode again? Yes. Would I include the Catholic comment in the reel? No, only because it cannibalized the whole rest of the conversation, and I think that there were so many other interesting things to discuss besides only that. On the other hand, keeping that comment in there did bring a lot of people to the show in the episode that had never heard of the spillover. So look, it's hard. I want every reel to be spicy. I want every reel to be interesting. I want every reel to get a lot of views to hopefully bring people to the actual full episode. I love my conservatives, almost too much, according to my producers. I mean, I care a lot about what you say. I overanalyze every move I make. You can ask my team. But what was really encouraging was a moment behind the scenes that you don't know about in regards to this episode. So working on the set that day to record this interview with Costi Hinn was a Catholic team member who was offended during the interview. And at first he was really upset, but he was able to take a step back, see that it wasn't personal. Not only that, but he wanted this episode to be released so that real conversations could happen. We have the right to tell others that they're wrong. We have the right to believe what we want, and we have the right to act how we choose. The podcast market, I just want to remind you, is one of the most oversaturated and competitive in the media industry. Knowing that, I am very grateful for those that choose to listen to me out of all of the options that exist. And that's the thing. There are pro-Catholic episodes or podcasts. There are pro-daycare, there are pro-dental parenting, whatever that exist. You are always welcome to listen to those. But if you're anything like me, I anticipate you'll stick around because you enjoy being challenged.